What is up, gents? DirtBag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We are doing a how-to gear guide for RAE. She's one of the OG characters in this game, that just one of the best nukes in the entire game. We got her a little bit ago. I kind of leveled her up to 60 as soon as possible and just let her sit there because there's so many champions in this game. She's not booked out, but there's so many champions in this game that just hit as hard, if not harder than her. But she's actually very, very good for Hydra boss. So that's kind of why we're going to make a new guide on her. She looks cool. Dark Elf champion. She does a lot. She has a lot of different skills, and she just hits really freaking hard. So we're going to go over all the gear sets that are going to be good for her, and we're going to go over kind of what I would suggest would be best for her in specific types of the game. So if you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe. There's a ton of different videos on the channel. Join the Discord if you haven't already, because we go over what you want to see and what you guys want to talk about. But with this video, all the gear set guides, there's a bunch of them. We go over what the skill sets are and kind of where you are going to be using them in the game. Also, what gear sets you want to be leveling on her. Because anytime you see a guide, most of it's going to be maxed out, OP, 6-star, cracking gear. There's going to be like where you're going to have gear, what you're going to use on her, and what I would suggest if you're mid game / end game, even in begin game. If you're begin game, throw a the best set you have on her and just use her in PvP, because it's probably going to be the best for you. But end game, you're probably going to use her in like Hydra, not clan boss, Hydra, Doom Tower, and kind of some of the bosses that we have in this game. So first off, she has an AoE on an A1. Right there, automatically, she's one of the top champions, because anybody who has an AoE, you can put her in a stun set and just kind of like go ham in Doom Tower runs, Dragon runs, or any runs that use CC. And AoE A1s are just amazing in the stun set. But attacks all champions. She could be the one that places your decreased defense, 30% chance up to a 50% chance to decrease defense by 60% for 2 turns. Then she has attacks all enemies, inflicts 50% more damage on targets under debuff. So if she is not your first person, you can put like a madame on your team to decrease defense on anybody, and then she can basically do 50% more damage with her nuke with this skill. So if she's in your PvP team, she literally is just gonna dominate whoever she hits with this skill. And then this one actually is a removal buff, attacks all enemies. So basically right there, she has 3 attacks that has AoEs. So that sunset would just be amazing on her in CC for Doom Tower. Attacks all enemies, removes all buffs, not a chance, just removes all buffs, has a 50% chance up to a 70% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. So it's a really high cool, like they probably need to re-gear her, because 4 turns is a lot, 7 turns is just insanely a lot, booking it down to 6 turns. And then like none of them are 100%, like it's all chances. This one, it does remove, but you need accuracy for this to remove the buffs. So this could be like your technically version of a madame. It just doesn't put out the decreased defense. And then she has an increased speed in all dungeons by 33%. So it's a very, very fast aura in dungeons. So she could be your dungeon's lead. And she does hit really freaking hard. So those are her skills. Masteries, basically just using her for PvE or PvP. If you're using her for PvP, I would go down to Helm Smasher. Just ignore that defense on the enemy team. And then this was made mainly for Hydra. So we got the War Master, and then this was when we did the cheesy Hydra build that lasted for like a week. So that's kind of why she's built like this. But we're going to go top to bottom on what gear sets are going to be good for her. And then you guys can determine which ones are going to be best for her. All right, sorry, I had to sell all my extra gear. All right, so let's go from top to bottom. So now RAE is more of a glass cannon type champion. So there are specific ways you're going to want to build her. You're going to build her either more of a tanky Doom Tower build with a stun set, a lot of HP. Just try and put a lot of accuracy on her and be the buff removal / stunner, which she can be very, very good in Doom Tower waves. Or you're going to build a just straight glass cannon, hit as hard as freaking possible, which is what I'm probably going to go over today, because she does hit really freaking hard. So if she's like your first nuker, definitely build her out with the glass cannon type. So let's go over, she's not going to need HP, attack if this is your only set, defense, skip, speed. She is going to want to be in line with your team. So anytime you have an arena team, you always want to go buffer or speed booster, buffer / speed booster, debuffer, and then nuke. That is kind of like your arena meta. So with her, you have to make sure she's right after the debuffer, because if her speed is not fast enough, you're gonna die. So you have to make sure her speed is in tune with what you're trying to do. So if my Madame is 100 or 220 speed, right? She has to be 219 speed. So that way she doesn't get cut in on when you're trying to nuke down the enemy team. So make sure you got that in right. And this is a great set to increase that speed for 2 slot. Crit rate, obviously if you need that extra crit rate, you're gonna 100% need her be at 100% crit rate. If you have a crit rate lead or a crit rate boost, like an extra 30% crit rate boost, that's fine. But make sure you have 100% crit rate after all the boosts. Crit damage is a great 2-piece set. If you can get that speed you need and you have the crit rate, crit damage is definitely a 2-piece set. I would throw after the Savage set. Savage set's going to be our number 1. Accuracy is good for a PvE type situation because you want to make sure that she's taking away the debuffs and she's landing her debuffs on the enemy team. So accuracy isn't a bad set. Resistance I would skip. She's not going to be a tanky resistance champion. Lifesteal is good for PvE and Hydra, I would say. So Hydra, I wouldn't use the poison set. You can, because she's going to do a lot more damage with the poison set, but she's going to survive a lot longer with the lifesteal set. So if you're going more Hydra build, go with the lifesteal set. Damage increase, HP decreases. Ignore that. She's not going to have a ton of HP. Ignore this one. Ignore this one. Ignore this one. Ignore that one. Ignore the shield set. She only has a base 15,000 HP. Relentless isn't bad for anybody that you want to throw a Relentless set on. I usually throw Relentless sets on people that can go multiple times, like a Rotos, or support champions. Support champions are the definition perfect champion for a Relentless set. RAE, hit or miss. Not the best, but okay. Savage, definitely number 1. So if you're going for more the just kill the enemy team or kill the PvP team, Savage set is the number 1 set you're going to be farming for your RAE. If you can do it, do it. If not, farm it and then try and get it. Anybody can get the Savage set. Ignore this. This is only for Scarab King. Stun set, like I said, if you're going to go tanky build, go with a tanky stun set, HP chest piece, HP gloves, and then accuracy and probably HP speed on all the other stats for the 3 up top and the speed boots. That's going to be your stun set for the Doom Tower and the waves for dungeons, because just having her all AoEs, a chance to stun all of them is going to be great, and a chance to CC them with the freeze. She's actually a pretty good CC champion. So that is a very, very good set for her. Poison, again, if you're going to use her for Hydra, definitely go with the poison set. We have taunting, ignore, ignore, ignore. This is great if you're doing Eternal Dragon and you want to bring her in Eternal Dragon. I wouldn't suggest it, but if that's like your must-have, Stalwart set is great for Eternal Dragon. I would ignore this. I have to sell these still. This is great for a 2-piece set. If you just want to go, like let's say you don't have any Savage whatsoever and you're brand new, you're going to get a bunch of these in Clan Balls. So I would just go 3 sets of this and just build her super nuke. Get her crit rate up to 100%. Get her crit damage as high as possible. Get her attack as high as possible. Make sure her speed is up to par. Ignore all the other stats and just go crit rate, speed, number 2. Make sure she's in line. Attack, and then crit damage. And that would be the order that I do everything in. This is good for a 2-piece set if you're going for the more tanky route, but not needed. And then we have all the new sets down here. Crit rate, this is a great set. For a 2-piece set, an extra 12% crit damage or crit rate, that's really good. Ignore. Speed set, again, is good, it's not needed. This one is cool, but mainly for resers. This set is very, very good for a reser, or like a Rotos. Like, this could be good for your RAE if you had everybody in your team in one of these sets, but not really made for a Nuker. You know, maybe if you have 3 defensive people on your team and then her, this could be good, but I would just go Savage. Ignore, ignore, This isn't good, or this is good for PvE, like if you want to go speed and accuracy, because again, you're not really going to be relying on her debuff for PvP. It's mainly going to be just nuke glass cannon. Ignore, this is really good, this set. 15% attack and 5% crit. So if you need that extra crit, throw a 2-piece set of this on there. That would help out a lot. This is good for PvE. Again, extra crit and lifesteal. Ignore this, and then all these other ones are just kind of defensive tech down here. So those are my suggestions for the top buffs or top gear for your RAE, where you go PvE or PvP, completely up to you. But guys, let me know if I missed anything. Let me know what your suggestions are. Put in the comments below what champions you want to see next. Post in that comment. I'll do a guide on them. And again, appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Let me know what you want to see next, and we will see you in another video soon.